At 72, Margaret still thought of herself as strong. She walked every morning, ate healthy, laughed with friends. But one afternoon, as she tried to stand up from her chair without using her hands, she couldn't. Not because of pain, but because her legs had lost something she hadn't noticed: their power. She brushed it off, until weeks later when a small sore on her ankle wouldn't heal, until her feet began to tingle at night, until she couldn't walk upstairs without gasping for air. And by the time she finally saw a doctor, it wasn't just weakness. It was the beginning of something far deeper: circulatory problems, nerve damage, and silent decline. What if your body was trying to tell you something about your future? Not through blood tests, not through scans, but through your legs. Because after 65, the truth is this: your legs often know how long you'll live. Before the rest of your body catches up. This video isn't meant to scare you, it's meant to wake you up. You're about to learn 4 small, often ignored signs in your legs and feet that can reveal your real health age and possibly your true longevity. If you're over 60, stay with me, because what your legs say about you may change how you care for yourself starting today. Why your legs reveal the truth about your longevity. You may not think much about your legs. They carry you, they move you, they hurt sometimes after a long day. But rarely do we pause and ask, what are they trying to tell us? The legs are not just limbs. They are the mirrors of your internal health, especially after 60. Let's start with blood. The human body is built to push blood from the heart down to the feet and then back up against gravity. As you age, this return trip becomes harder. The valves in your veins weaken, the heart pumps slower, the vessels stiffen. And the first place this failure shows up? Your lower legs. That swelling you thought was from sitting too long? It could be an early sign of heart strain or kidney stress, that mild numbness you ignored for years. It might be a whisper from your nervous system telling you diabetes is quietly stealing your sensation. Even something as simple as getting out of a chair can become a test of muscle integrity, a direct link to how well your body is aging. A landmark study published in the British Medical Journal followed over 8,000 older adults. They found that those who struggled to rise from a seated position without using their hands had a significantly higher risk of death in the following 6 years, even if they had no major diagnosed disease. Why? Because your legs are where muscle loss shows first. And muscle loss isn't just about weakness. It's about metabolic health, balance, fall risk, and immune resilience. Another study from the University of California linked walking speed in seniors with expected lifespan. Those who walked slowly, without reason, often had hidden cardiovascular or neurological decline long before symptoms were official. The legs tell the story early, before the doctor says anything. Before the diagnosis is written, before you feel sick. And this is not about fear, it's about power. Because if you know how to read the signs, you can change the story. Coming up, we'll explore the first of 4 small, overlooked signs, and what to do if you see it in yourself. But remember, just because the signs are in your legs doesn't mean the problem is only there. The legs may be the first to whisper, but what they're saying affects your heart, brain, and life itself. Sign number 1, loss of leg strength, and the simple test you can do at home. Here's something most people never think to test until it's too late. Can you stand up from a chair without using your hands? Try it now. Find a firm chair, cross your arms over your chest, keep your feet flat, and stand up. Could you do it easily? Or did you have to lean forward, push off, or try more than once? What seems like a simple movement is actually a powerful indicator of your true biological age. This movement requires your thighs, glutes, and core to fire together in balance. It reveals how much muscle mass you have left. And in older adults, that mass is precious. It's called sarcopenia, the silent loss of muscle tissue that begins as early as your 50s, but speeds up rapidly after 65. Why does this matter? Because muscle isn't just about mobility. It's about your immune system, your metabolism, and even your brain health. When you start to lose leg strength, you become less active. When you move less, your blood sugar worsens, your blood pressure rises, your bones weaken, and your risk of falls skyrockets. Falls aren't just accidents. For many over 65, a single fall can lead to hospitalization, loss of independence, or worse. In fact, the CDC reports that 1 in 4 older adults falls each year. And falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in people over 65. But here's the good news. This sign is reversible. If you catch it early, if you notice yourself needing your hands more often to stand, or struggling to get out of bed or rise from the toilet, you can build that strength back. Simple seated leg lifts, chair squats, walking with light resistance, even standing up from the couch repeatedly. It all counts, because the longer you wait, the harder it becomes to regain what's lost. So ask yourself, how strong are your legs, really? Not how they were last year, not how they were at 40, but today. That one test, standing up without your hands, might say more about your future than any blood test ever could. Up next, we'll look at a more hidden sign, the kind that creeps in at night, in silence, when your feet go numb. Sign number 2, numbness, tingling, or burning in the soles of your feet. It often starts at night, a strange buzzing in your toes, a mild tingling that feels like pins and needles. Sometimes it's a dull numbness, other times a burning that makes it hard to sleep. You might think it's nothing, maybe just bad circulation, maybe just from sitting too long. But when the soles of your feet stop feeling like themselves, it may be a sign of something deeper, something dangerous. This is often the first whisper of peripheral neuropathy, a condition that affects the nerves farthest from the brain, usually in your feet and lower legs. And one of the most common causes of this in older adults? Undiagnosed or poorly managed diabetes. When blood sugar remains too high for too long, it damages the tiny blood vessels that feed your nerves. The nerves begin to starve, and as they die, sensation fades, pain flares, and balance suffers. But here's what's most alarming. Many older adults have no idea they're diabetic or pre-diabetic until these symptoms appear. The CDC estimates that nearly 1 in 3 Americans over 65 has diabetes. Many don't know it. Many find out too late, after a fall, a foot ulcer, or a sudden infection. Peripheral neuropathy can also be caused by B vitamin deficiencies, alcohol abuse, certain medications, chronic kidney disease. But whatever the cause, the warning is the same. When your feet lose their voice, your body is calling for attention. How do you test for this at home? Sit down. Close your eyes. Ask someone to gently touch the bottom of your foot with a cotton ball or soft object. Can you feel it clearly? Is it the same on both feet? If not, don't ignore it. Early intervention can slow or even reverse nerve damage if caught in time. And remember, when your feet can't feel, you may not notice a small injury, a cut, or a sore. And for older adults, a minor unnoticed wound can lead to infection, hospitalization, or even amputation. This is not fear. This is awareness, because you can't protect what you don't feel, and you can't heal what you ignore. Next, we'll explore a sign you might see in the mirror, a quiet swelling that says more than you think. Sign number 3, swelling in the ankles or calves. You look down at your feet in the evening. Your socks have left deep marks. Your ankles seem puffier than usual. Maybe your shoes feel tighter than they did this morning. It's easy to shrug off. Just water weight, too much salt, must be the weather. But after 65, persistent swelling in your lower legs may be your body waving a quiet red flag. This swelling, known as peripheral edema, is more than just cosmetic. It can be a subtle sign of underlying health stress in systems you can't see. Let's start with the heart. As the heart weakens, especially with age, it may struggle to pump blood effectively. Blood begins to pool in the lower extremities, pushed down by gravity, unable to return upward efficiently. The result? Swollen ankles, tired calves, heavy legs. In fact, congestive heart failure often starts this way, not with chest pain or dizziness, but with swelling. It could also be a sign of kidney issues. When kidneys aren't filtering waste properly, fluid builds up. And where does it show first? Again, your legs. Or the lymphatic system may be overloaded, unable to drain excess fluid from the tissues. Here's how to tell if your swelling is something to watch. Does it happen daily, especially by evening? Does it leave a dent when you press it with your finger? Is it happening in both legs or just one? Does it get worse over time? Swelling in only one leg, especially if it's sudden, could indicate a blood clot, which is a medical emergency. But even gradual mild swelling can signal something quietly growing underneath. The most overlooked part? We normalize it. We think it's just part of getting older. We adjust our shoes, ignore the tightness, and carry on. But your body is asking for something different, for rest, for attention, for evaluation. What can you do? Elevate your legs in the afternoon. Stay hydrated. Reduce salt intake. Walk, even if slowly. Movement helps fluid return. And most importantly, talk to your doctor. Don't wait until the swelling speaks louder, because sometimes the first sign of heart trouble isn't felt in the chest, it's seen in your feet. Coming up, a sign that many dismiss as just aging, but could be the clearest clue of all. Sign number 4, slow healing wounds on the legs or feet. You scratch your leg on the edge of a table. It bleeds a little. You clean it, put on a bandage, and forget about it. But days later, it's still red, still raw, still there. Maybe a small cut on your heel doesn't close, or a scrape on your shin takes weeks to scab. You tell yourself it's just because you're older. But what if that's not the whole story? Slow healing wounds, especially on your legs or feet, can be a hidden sign of serious internal issues, and they deserve your full attention. Why? Because healing requires 3 things: good blood flow, healthy nerves, and a strong immune system. And as we age, all 3 begin to slow down. In people over 65, slow wound healing can point to poor circulation, when blood isn't delivering oxygen and nutrients fast enough; diabetes. High blood sugar slows down every stage of the healing process; immune system fatigue, where the body is too tired to repair itself properly; or even vascular disease, which narrows the arteries in your legs. For people with diabetes, this isn't just a nuisance, it's a real danger. A small untreated wound can become infected. An infection can spread to bone, and what begins as a simple sore can end in amputation. Here's what to watch for. A wound that doesn't noticeably improve within 7-10 days, increasing redness, warmth, or swelling, discoloration around the edges, a foul smell, even faint, or wounds that reappear in the same area repeatedly. If you notice any of these signs, do not wait. Early intervention is the difference between a bandage and a hospital bed. But this isn't just about fear, it's about being wise. Your skin is your largest organ, and your legs, they're the furthest point from your heart, which means they're the first to show when things inside aren't working like they should. And here's the truth. Most people don't notice these wounds because they're small, or because they can't feel them due to neuropathy, or because they've been taught to ignore their body's whispers. But your body remembers what you ignore, and your legs have been trying to tell you something, perhaps for a while now. In the final section, we'll bring these signs together, and more importantly, show you how to act before it's too late. What your legs are trying to tell you and why you should listen. Your legs are not just for walking. They are messengers, sentinels, the first to feel the weight of aging, the first to show when something is off. And too often we wait for bigger signs, shortness of breath, chest pain, confusion, collapse, when in truth the early warnings were already there, in the way we moved, stood, or didn't notice a sore that wouldn't heal. If you're over 65, know this. Your body still speaks, your legs still tell the truth. And the smallest change, a little swelling, a little numbness, a little weakness, may be the most loving whisper from your body to slow down, pay attention, and act with care. This isn't about panic. It's about power, because knowledge gives you that. The power to check, to ask questions, to move more, to eat wiser, to see a doctor early instead of late. and perhaps most importantly, to understand that aging gracefully doesn't mean ignoring pain. It means listening to the quiet signs before they become loud ones. So the next time you feel unsteady, the next time your feet feel numb, the next time a wound seems to linger longer than it should, don't brush it off. Don't wait. Because your legs may be telling you more than any test ever could. They are your foundation. They carry your years. They know your story. And if you listen, they just might help you write the next chapter with strength, clarity, and time. And maybe, after hearing all this, you're starting to wonder, what do my legs say about how long I'll live? Remember, longevity isn't only written in your DNA. It's hidden in how you move, how you rise each morning, and how much care you give to the parts of you that carry you forward, silently every single day. If today's video has sparked something in you, a reflection, a memory, or even a quiet question, then maybe this journey is meant for you. On this channel, Golden Pathways, we gently uncover the subtle truths of aging, with kindness, clarity, and compassion. So if your heart feels a little more understood after watching this, don't leave quietly, subscribe, and walk with us. Because aging isn't about decline, it's about discovering what truly matters while there's still time.